Since coming to Japan nearly 2.5 years ago, I have watched my weight balloon, and I blame it on the good Japanese food. So I decided to start losing weight, and everything I tried did not work until finally I started talking to some local people about what they do to lose weight, and I decided to lose weight the Japanese way. And I wanted to share all of the methods that have finally been working for me. It's not rocket science, but it's definitely working. I'm going to go through Japanese walking, a drink called Japanese koso, balanced meals, and the Japanese mindset. It's hard to show you these images, but I'd put on about 15 kilos since arriving, and I've been trying to hide it through my footage by lots of smart editing and trying to hide out the reality of what was actually happening. It's so hard to put this footage out there. But let's get started. Number one is Japanese walking. Of course, walking is a natural part of life in Japan, but in recent years, Japanese researchers turned this into a structured technique known as interval walking training, and many people just call it Japanese walking. It was developed by the scientists at Shinshu University. It's built around short, alternating bursts of brisk and gentle walking, creating a rhythm that boosts heart health, builds strength, and supports your metabolism. The way it works is you do a little warm-up, 5 to 10 minutes, gentle, easy walking. Then you move to a brisk walk of 2 to 3 minutes, like you're late for an appointment. Then you go back to your slow walking again, and you just repeat this for 20, 30, or 40 minutes as long as you can manage. And that's it. No apps, no timers. I sometimes put music on, and I might do a slow song and a fast song and just repeat that on my playlist. As you know, I've been taking Millie with me, and I usually time her little bit where she walks home for my slow part. For me, this has been really sustainable. I don't need a gym membership or special equipment. I just need to walk with intention and this little bit of rhythm that I've developed. And I've noticed that I'm getting stronger and stronger by doing it 4 to 5 times a week around my work schedule. If you're really interested in this simple Japanese method of getting fit, check out my website at www.chanijapan.com, and I've got a downloadable PDF, and I wrote a whole blog on how it works if you want more information. When I get home, I usually do a little bit of weight training with a heavy ball as well. The next thing I'm going to share with you has been a real game changer for me. It's Ars Koso. It's a Japanese fermented enzyme drink made from over 100 fruits, vegetables, and plants. It includes prebiotics, probiotics, and postbiotics, all of which support healthy digestion and gut balance. I do wish I'd known about this a lot earlier as I started my journey, because I had noticed a change within just 2 days. I felt less bloated, lighter, and more comfortable. There are many different ways you can use Ars Koso, like as a cleanse or a daily drink. I use it as a daily drink, usually in the afternoon before I have my dinner. I put a little bit of ice, a bit of soda water, and mix it round. It's quite syrupy, a bit like a cordial. It tastes sweet, but not sickly sweet. Really, after about a week, everything just felt so balanced. I was regular, my stomach felt calm, and I had this extra energy which carried me right through the day. Another unexpected side effect is I started to sleep really well. It fits perfectly with what I'm trying to do. My walking every day, eating simple seasonal meals, and focusing on a peaceful Japanese approach to health. Honestly, I don't think I can do without this anymore. It's become one of those little daily habits that just makes me feel good. This Japanese fermented drink has really kept me feeling energized and balanced throughout the day. I've ordered another bottle because I know that the changes that I've experienced since drinking Ars Koso are just undeniable. So if you're curious about trying something gentle to support your gut health and digestion, Ars Koso is one product that I thoroughly recommend. The QR code is on the screen to take you straight to their website, and if you put in Chani, you'll get 15% off. There's also a link in the description. Thanks to Ars Koso for really helping me on this weight loss journey. Next up is Japanese healthy meals based on balance and moderation. I've been watching Natsumi bring these delicious lunch boxes to work for over 2 years now, and when I asked her to show me exactly what she put in it, it was pretty easy to see just how balanced and healthy her meals are. She has lots of vegetables, protein, fruit. She also includes carbohydrates with her rice ball, and her rice ball also contains protein as well because it has the edamame, which is the soybeans, and a bit of salmon sesame seed mixed in. So you can see just at a quick glance, this isn't a lot of food, but everything she has here serves a purpose and it's all really balanced. And I asked her what this little package was, and it's her miso soup. So she also includes miso soup, which is a fermented soup, in her diet. And this is what her diet looks like. So healthy and so different from what I have been eating. I've been working hard to try and replicate this. The only thing I'm missing here is probably the miso soup. A typical meal in Japan follows the principle of ichiju sansai, which is one soup and three dishes, and it gives protein, fiber, and nutrition in balanced amounts. Completely changing my diet is a little bit difficult for me to do because I also do enjoy my weekends and having a toasted sandwich. But as well as that, during the week, I'm trying to do some bulk meal prep and include all of these things, such as a bit of carbohydrates, which is the rice, some salad, and some protein. So just trying to keep my meals looking colorful and also satisfying. In the past, I have tried keto and I've tried intermittent fasting, but for me personally, it's really hard to restrict my diet or take certain foods out of my diet. Another thing I'd heard about is the Okinawan concept of eating until you're 80% full, which is called hara hachibu. And that's another thing I'm trying also not to overeat because I found my portion sizes were so large compared to other people. It's really helped me to buy lots of small Japanese bowls and serve my meals in these, focusing on the principle of one soup and three side dishes. All of this has really helped me to control my eating. And finally, the part of my diet that I think is the most important, and that is having a healthy mindset, the inner calm and consistency behind what I call the Japanese way. This idea really sits well with me if I look at health as a balance, not a restriction. Both the body and the mind should feel light and unburdened. And part of my way of feeling light is just to get away sometimes. And I've got the camper, and I bought this camper so that I could freely travel Japan without the cost of hotels and things like that and get back into nature because that is when I'm the happiest. Now, even though I was telling you last week about the typhoons hovering around, it was a terribly windy, rainy, wet weekend, but I decided to go camping regardless with Millie because it's some of the favorite times for me is to be out in nature with Millie. It really is like fuel for my soul. In Japan, it's believed there's a strong link between kokoro. Kokoro refers to your heart, mind, and spirit, and your physical wellness. So when you care for one, you support the other. And that's really what I try to do on the weekends, is to refill my cup and refill my healthy mindset by getting away. Google reviews told me to come to this little cafe because they apparently have the best French toast in all of Japan, and I'm going to treat myself to some. On the wall, she had an amazing map showing all of the visitors from different countries who had visited her cafe over the year, because this is on the Kumano corridor, so many Aussies and so many Europeans. It was amazing. And thank you to everyone, by the way, for sending in your t-shirt pics. I'm getting more and more of these to share, and if you would like to send in your photo, just send it to my email address on the video description. Thank you so much. I really love looking at you wearing the Life is Journey shirt, and I hope it inspires you to get out sometimes and have your own little journeys, whatever you're doing and wherever you are. I heard here in the Hongu area of Wakayama that there is Kawayu, which is a river onsen. And as I was walking down the river, I did actually see steam coming up from the water. I put my hand in and it was boiling hot. It was probably way too hot to get in, but apparently it's really popular in winter to come here and dig a little hole and sit in the hot water in the river. I could just picture it now with all the snow around you as you sit in the river. Beautiful. But I'm headed off to my own onsen, and I actually got here quite early in the morning, and I was super lucky because they let me go in, and the cleaning lady was there actually, and she said I could quickly film while no one was in there, and she kept a close eye on me. So I was really lucky to get this footage inside the onsen, because normally it's definitely no cameras or phones in an onsen, but yeah, she was there and she said, you go and do it now while I'm here. So it was, beautiful, magical, hot onsen. It actually started raining while I was sitting in the onsen. Beautiful. While I was doing that, Millie was out having her breakfast in the car. And don't worry, she's fine. It was totally cold weather, actually. I was wearing a jacket for most of the time, and I have the windows cracked when I've got to leave her in the car. But after the onsen, I was feeling so sleepy. For a healthy mindset, I think sleep and rest are so important. Just following the natural rhythms of your body and slowing down when you just feel tired. Sometimes I just take Millie's lead and I think, oh, she looks so cozy and comfy. I think I'm going to copy her and do the same. I've talked about my story before I moved to Japan a few times, and how I felt like every day I was just going through the motions, going from one thing to the next, never keeping up, never feeling like I was living. I was always stressed and tired, and no matter how much I worked, I just couldn't shake that trapped feeling. And for me, something had to change, and the dream was to go to Japan, a place that had always held true in my heart. But looking back now, here I am in Japan, I realized that it wasn't Japan that created the change. It was probably the fact that I finally took action. And the truth is, you don't have to move across the world to start again. What you really need is the courage to shift your rhythm, to slow down and listen to yourself and make some small choices that support the life that you actually want to live. Today, Millie and I are at the largest torii gate in all of Japan, and it just happens to be in Wakayama. I really wanted to take a photo with her together so I could put it on a postcard and send it to all of the members of the postcard club. And I've got a lot of information here about the torii gate and Wakayama on the postcard. You can scan the QR code and it takes you directly to the joining page. As I was saying before, I still remind myself that change doesn't come from a place. It comes from a decision. Japan gave me the environment that I needed to make that decision stick. But anyone can start. You can create your own version of Japan wherever you are by slowing down, simplifying, and being present in your own life. For me, Japan became the backdrop to my healing, but the real story was learning how to live with intention, to move with purpose, and to take care of both my mind and my body in ways that felt peaceful for me. While I'm here, I'm going to head to the Kumano Hongu Taisha Grand Shrine, and it's going to involve climbing up a very long stone staircase to get to the top where the sacred grounds are. Interestingly, this shrine was where that big torii gate was, but that whole area was knocked out by a flood which happened to the rivers, and now it's been rebuilt up here on top of this sort of hill. So you do have to climb the stairs. And one thing I always notice when I'm climbing stairs up to shrines is that there are older people overtaking me. They're just so fit here because I think they do all of these stairs and shrines, and it's something I really need to build up is my fitness so I don't puff by the time I get to the top of the stairs. It feels so good when you make it to the top, like you've accomplished something. And yeah, it's moments like this that remind me how movement can be both exercise and meditation. It's a way to stay healthy while enjoying your sights around you. Now that summer's passed and the air's a lot cooler, I mean, even though it's raining, it was still really enjoyable to be out in nature. And I think there's no reason why you can't go outside even on a rainy day, but just get those steps up and get some walking happening. That's how I'm looking at it, and that's what I'm telling myself. And then I get to reward myself with a yummy breakfast. I had to leave Millie in the car again. I just couldn't take her up those stairs with the amount of rain. But I found a little cafe and Millie's asleep in the car. I checked in on her. So I'm going to sit here and look at the Tory Gate whilst I have some yummy cheese on toast, because that's what they serve here. Now, I've been talking about healthy Japanese diets, and here I am eating French toast and cheese on toast. Not the best diet when you're out and about, but I'm allowing myself to have these little treats on the weekend because I know that on the weekdays I'm going back to my healthy eating. My weight loss progress has definitely been slow, but it has been steady. I've lost weight in a way that feels holistic and healthy, and it's not been through restriction or putting pressure on myself, but through moving, mindful eating, and living with a bit more balance. And maybe that's the real secret. You don't have to rush to change your life. You just have to start one mindful step at a time. What are your thoughts on what I've shared today? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. See you later.